Okay, I'm gonna read from my thesis. It's called California Bucolic. Sort of about different orientations to California, sort of just poems I wrote over the past 2 years. Also, yeah, thank you to all the damp mothers and fathers out there, especially my own, who came up on the 4 train. They took the 4 train to the end in Woodlawn and got on the 20 bus. It takes you to Cross County. It's just amazing. Appreciate that. And I appreciate that kind of, yeah, you can clap for them. Appreciate that commitment to sort of economy, commuting. Field. Sprint, we sprint through croplands. My chucked claws become just dirt again on Sam's bones on dark. A sprinkler head catches Sam's crotch, his jeans rip, knee to shining knee. I grab his belt loop, rip the rest off. He's floored, licking dust. I collapse beside him. Let's go climb that. I hear dogs, a eucalyptus darker than the sky by the road. Already he's goose-stepping the neat lit lines of moon before I can, no, come on. A tree more shadow than form, nothing a child could draw, mostly bark, acute angles, leaves clotted with cloud dust, husks of old branches dying into each other. Sam kicks off the base, lunges for the lowest tangible hold. I try, the leaves sharp in my eyes. I'm thick, I flail, dig, my hands deep in the tree. I find his face, his wrist, my skin raw, scribbled with red, the sharp twigs in the coarse bend of the thing. A car passes, barn lights a ways off. Sam climbs until I can't see him. I jump down and feel the familiar rush, the fire in my spine. Sam shakes, sways in the narrow. He snaps, he sings. And then this poem's called Light. We go to the beach for the cheap stuff, where it veins the 5 a.m. surf and closes out on us in tubes. We fold into it and it changes how we speak. How interesting becomes, whoa. Excuse me, dude. Gnarly for an utterance of the sublime. The good light is on the tongue like French fries or peaches. We want the white heat of it. The boardwalk rides 1,000 bulbs to chew on the glass that makes up their names. This is a fable I wrote called Architect. Maybe it's a poem, fable, prose poem. Architect. A man puts a gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger, and I build a city on a bullet out of lead because that is what the bullet is made of. The applejacks are lead, the caterpillars are lead, the people are lead. They write with lead on lead paper in bathroom stall doors. No one can read what they've written because there is no contrast. The people of the bullet collapse in the lead desert and look up at the circle of light between the man's teeth and the nozzle of the gun. They worship the sounds the gun makes. The bullet skips along the man's tongue. The sky over the bullet fills with clouds of the man's spit. The city is flooded with saliva. The saliva digs itself in ocean. Some of the lead people sink and drown before I can design their flippers and gills. I make them too quickly and they are hideous. They find each other gorgeous and they have great sex. I grind up the lead and make sand. I make an island with a little lead palm tree. The people flip their bodies on the shore and suffocate until I can give them legs again. The people eat sand. I build up the island so that it goes all the way around the bullet. I put a road on the island. The people can drive as fast as they want forever. The bullet reaches the man's brain and the bullet is squeezed. The air is clotted with blood. The people eat blood sausage and it's the best thing they've ever had. The bullet reaches the man's skull and it is hard. The city and the island and the ocean are wiped off. The bullet lands somewhere in the dirt and it is terrible and clean. There are only people on the bullet now. I leave them alone. And then final poem, which some of you heard, is called The Future. So what's going to happen? One, we stop longing for the moon and populate it. Lots of sex, biodomes fitted in craters, the customary exhalation of dust. Fields reflect in the ceiling of glass, our old planet up there, bent with the stars, divining nothing. Man and woman on the moon, bad kids on the moon, lighting their firecrackers fuse too quick in the concentrated O2. As new birds scatter in their way, one examines the burn on his wrist and howls at the earth. 2. We partition off the wild lands where no human can go. We can only assume wolves continue in packs, circling birch leaves, shadow 1,000 miles from the words to name them. Maybe one gnaws itself, another brings its toe to the blank spot on its hide. The young ones might reach the boar first, almost tripping, globe casting its blue into their yellow eyes, fastest for having never been described. 3. No Ahab to hunt the first whale on the moon, only the kids to carve its shape on the dome's outermost wall, strips of nylon at the beach, gulls with the same indifferent cry. Leviathan cubs squeeze long ways in the globular arc as engine fans deafen, their flown over the sea dropped with resounding plop and wave. Salvage the word for the world we left. Here they will find only traces, bits of skin, pillars, krill. 4. Daintree roots clutch the man's shack, planks wet with worms. The electric sun blasts through the canopy. Solar's latest version popped 3 million cricket frogs. Boas grew appendages they didn't need. His 8 tracks bassoon busies a collection of flies. He spins end myths from a green log, how the world was always already ending. Ice, he seems to whisper. Disease. 5. The bad kids find each other on the jetty where the city is 1,000 vertical knives. They smoke, crack their voices and laughs, start a small fire. One gloats how she hacked a brothel machine, scorched some poor sucker's rod. An ad for crab cakes flashes pink across the black clouds. The bad kids burn metal, old phones, wires, a used buck's arm flares green. One thrusts his hips to the heat. 6. The orchid holograph wilts, sensing night. Bots charged follow programs to polish marble, to shake dead leaves from the trees. Amid sweet smells, zap gnats, vacuum the lawn and bow. Plastic bags, as if plucked from some massive creature's wings, float up the opaque convexities, sucked into the din of the machine modulating rain. A rat restructures itself. Thank you. Next up is Liza Williams.